Hello there, everyone. We have to talk about plan work on the subways here in Queens, and this week I'm actually going to be going in-depth about the Long Island Railroad, because a lot of interesting stuff is taking place on the railroad this weekend. This will be the weekend for May 18th to May 21st. So that out of the way, let's begin. I have some wonderful news about the 7, everyone. This is great news. I'm actually happy about when I heard this. No work at all this weekend! Finally! It was like this 2 weekends ago, I think, and then last weekend there was that big chaos with the trains ending at Queensboro Plaza, but thankfully, 7 trains will be running. However, Times Square Shuttle this weekend will not be running overnight, so please remember that. Please remember that. I don't want anybody getting confused. You need to go to Grand Central overnight this weekend. Please take the 7. I'm not going to stress this out. So, that out of the way. Or you could take the 4, 5, or 6. Whatever the matter could be. But anyhow, M trains. When will they ever give a break for people who use the local line? Beginning 8:30 tomorrow night, M service is going to be ending early between Forest Hills, 71st Avenue, and Delancey Exit Street due to track maintenance. So, midnight on Monday morning, May 21st, M trains will be back in service for the commute. And they never give anybody a break on weekends. I want to quickly mention, for service to Queensboro Plaza this weekend, please take the E or 7 train. I'm not going to stress this out again. Please take the E or 7 train. I'm not going to stress this out again. However, I forgot to mention you can also take the R train. I should have added that. So what I'll do is I'll just put that there right now. We'll do some live editing. Let me save this. There we go. So again, for service to Queensboro Plaza this weekend, please take the E, R, or 7 train. There we go. So I was thinking to myself, I knew I had to add something last second. So thankfully, you will have 3 options this weekend to get over to Queensboro Plaza. That's good news. Now, unfortunately, later on, I do have to talk about the N train, because something is happening on the end that I need to discuss with all of you Astoria riders. Very important that you pay attention later on in this video. For service to Court Square 23rd Street this weekend, please take the E train. Now that that's out of the way, you want to screenshot this. Suggest you do it now so you don't get confused. I love live editing. It's fun. It really, really is. Is the R affected in Queens this weekend? Well, 9:45 p.m. tomorrow night and lasting until 11:30 Friday, Sunday. In fact, let me make sure I got the information correctly. Yeah. So here we go again. Tomorrow night, Manhattan-bound R trains are going to be running express from Forest Hills 71st Avenue to Roosevelt Avenue in Jackson Heights due to track maintenance. Something historical will be happening I need to get into. I need to get all this information listed here so we don't get confused. I've never remembered this happening before, but I figured for rail fans, this is something historic for you. Starting 5:30 a.m. This is this Saturday, May 19th, and lasting until midnight. Our trains are going to actually be going to Jamaica 179th Street on the F line due to track replacement. However, the unfortunate thing is this is only going to be for eastbound trains. Manhattan-bound R trains are going to be skipping Sutphin Boulevard, Briarwood, and 75th Avenue due to the track replacement. But for eastbound customers, the following stops added will be Forest Hills, 75th Avenue, Kew Gardens, Union Turnpike, Briarwood, Sutphin Boulevard, Parsons Boulevard, Hillside Avenue, 169th Street, Hillside Avenue, Home Street. That's the area in case anybody's a little bit fascinated with it. Sutphin Boulevard, also I'll quickly mention, it's also by Hillside Avenue, and of course the last stop, Jamaica, 179th Street. So you're a rail fan, this is very historic. I don't think this has ever happened before. I mean, somebody can comment below, but I figured I would bring this up because honestly, I know the R route by heart, honestly, because it goes pretty much the R line. And if you don't know this, the R line goes all the way to Bay Ridge, 95th Street, right by the Verrazano Bridge. So I am very familiar with the R. So yeah, it's just something something you might want to be in the loop about, because it's interesting. It really is. I mean, the R actually running on the F track? That's something that needs to be documented. Yours truly can't document it because unfortunately I have plans in Long Island this weekend that I'm looking forward to. But anyhow, E-Trains, 9:45 p.m. tomorrow night until Monday morning, 5 a.m. May 21st. Manhattan Mountain E-Trains will be running express from... You know, I'm not even going to get into this. Why am I getting into this? It's the normal route. Why are they giving this information out? The MTA. Anyhow, Manhattan-bound E-Trains will be going to be skipping Briarwood and 75th Avenue to track replacement. F-Train plan work. Manhattan-bound F-Train starting tomorrow night, 11:45, lasting until Monday morning, 5 a.m. Due to the track replacement, Manhattan-bound F-Trains are going to be skipping Sutphin Boulevard, Briarwood, and 75th Avenue due to track replacement. How to avoid the stress? Well, the best thing I can recommend you do, and honestly, the way I view it, is quickly recap it for everybody so that way nobody gets confused here, because, you know, I don't want to see people get confused and, oh no, it's more chaos. You have two options. Let me make sure about the R. So I'm just double checking it. So when in doubt, the best thing you can do, avoiding the stress, you can get off at Jackson Heights Roosevelt or Forest Hills 71st Avenue and take the next eastbound E, F, or R train. I'm going to recommend this. The best way you can do it is just getting off at Forest Hills 71st and going eastbound that way. If you want to do it that way, or you know, if you want to walk from Kew Gardens Union Turnpike, that's another recommendation I can say for, let's say, 75th Avenue, because then you save even more of a trip that way. It's only about, what, a 3-block walk? There you go. Now, Story Riders, this is very important for you. You need to pay attention. 3:45 a.m. Saturday, May 19th, and lasting until 10 p.m. Sunday night. There will be no N-train service between Astoria Ditmars Boulevard and Queensboro Plaza due to track replacement. Shuttle buses will be available. However, regular N service will run between Queensboro Plaza and Stillwell Avenue and Coney Island. Free shuttle buses will be making all the N stops along the route between Ditmars Boulevard and Queensboro Plaza. Get rid of that, my apologies. You can transfer between trains and buses at Queensboro Plaza. So, that is going to be possible. So at least you'll have buses this weekend. Yeah, and this is just a minor thing I want to bring up. So you want to take a look at this. You're more than welcome to look at this, but I'm not going to go further in depth. Just remember, W trains do not run on weekends in general. So when in doubt, unfortunately, you're going to have to take the bus. I know it stinks, but on the bright side, at least you have shuttle buses in Astoria. Just be thankful the MTA is dispatching them out there. Alright, so now I'm going to go to Chrome, talk about service changes for the Long Island Railroad. How hectic will this be? Oh, and I have good news for midday train service. Tomorrow, the long agony of hell between Montauk and Patchogue will be over. The last day of bus service between Montauk and Patchogue will end tomorrow, May 18th. That's some good news. Alright. So, Saturday, May 19th, buses will replace trains between Great Neck and Port Washington for a 13-hour period while track work is performed. So, basically, you have to deal with this headache as it is. I mean, you have to deal with it, folks. If you're going between Great Neck and Port Washington, just deal with the buses. Suck it up for one weekend. Unfortunately, it may be cheese. I don't know, because what we've seen in Hicksville with those buses going out to Ronkonkoma, we've seen a lot, honestly. And I was aware of this when I was at the Auburndale station on Tuesday. The positive train control testing between Woodside and Bayside is back. So that means Port Washington branch service will be reduced to hourly this weekend. But, however, for the Mets games this weekend, I'm not gonna stress this out again. For Met fans going to Citi Field this weekend, it's very important that you pay attention to me because this impacts you a lot. First things first, I want to warn you, be prepared for any temporary platforms this weekend. That includes Friday. That includes this Friday, tomorrow. And probably all weekend, unfortunately. Please be prepared to deal with any temporary platforms at Woodside. As far as the Saturday and Sunday games against Arizona are concerned, westbound service to Mets Willets Point will begin with the 311 train from Port Washington and ending approximately 30 minutes after the game. So, the good news is the half-hourly service from Port Washington will be available. So if you're going to be using the Port Washington branch and you're going to Citi Field on Saturday, this Saturday, May 19th, you will have service. Eastbound customers from Penn Station will have half-hourly service beginning with the 348 train from Penn due to Port Washington and ending approximately 30 minutes after the game. Now, the Sunday afternoon game, the 1:10 first pitch. It's very important. Half-hourly service westbound from Port Washington will begin with the 9:11 a.m. train from Port Washington and will end approximately 30 minutes after the game ends. Eastbound customers from Penn Station, your first train available to Citi Field will be the 9:48 a.m. train from Penn, ending approximately 30 minutes after the game. And again, not going to stress this out for anybody transferring at Woodside this weekend. please, you will have to deal with temporary platforms. I know it's coming. I mean, if it doesn't come, I'll be surprised. But from what I'm hearing, they are bringing them back this weekend. So, again, prepare to deal with temporary platforms at Woodside. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm not going to stress this out again. I don't want anybody getting out of the loop. Please. I know you Met fans who've been complaining about temporary platforms. Well, this is your warning. I don't want you getting confused. Alright, so I have some interesting news. The cheese is sort of coming back. But good news is, I have some very interesting news I need to share with you all. Buses are going to be replacing trains between Ronkonkoma and Brentwood this weekend. So I'm trying to see the timetable here. And if it'll load, that'll be great. I wanted to show you the buses. So, pretty much as an example, let's say you are going to see Deadpool 2 this weekend at Deer Park. As an example, and you're going to be coming from, I don't know, let's say, Bethpage. As an example. The good news is you're going to be able to get to Deer Park. That's the good news, so don't worry about it. Your trains will not be affected this weekend, so don't worry about that. Hicksville as an example. Unfortunately, that's only going to be hourly service. So if you're trying to see Deadpool 2 at the Hicksville Theater this weekend, please be aware that you may have your trains have problems. I'll get into that in a sec. But the good news is Ronkonkoma trains are not really going to be affected this weekend. So that's the good news. But unfortunately, the Huntington Port Jefferson branch service will be reduced. Starting tomorrow night, continuing until Sunday, testing of a new signal system designed to support east side access at Harold Interlocking. Testing will be taking place. To accommodate this work, weekend service in the Port Jefferson branch will be reduced, and there are changes to connecting service for a number of other branches. Weekend service between Huntington and Penn Station will be reduced from half-hourly to hourly. Weekend train service between Port Jefferson and Huntington will be reduced from every 90 minutes to every 2 hours. So unfortunately, let's say you're going to Hicksville, right? And you need a train take you, I don't know, back to Mineola as an example after you're done seeing the movie. Well, unfortunately, you may have to deal with hourly service at Hicksville. I know it sucks, but whenever you think of movie theaters by train stations and they're easily accessible, I'm not going to recommend Merrick. Alright, because if you go to Merrick's going to be bad, and I just don't want people complaining. And you know what that unfortunately means? It means when I see Deadpool this weekend, Westbury 10's going to be crowded because people are going to drive in. So, I'm at a loss for words. I'll quickly go off topic. I just wish the MTA would realize when there's big theatrical movie releases coming out. They did this for Infinity War. Alright, they did the same thing for Infinity War. And I'm telling you right now, if they do this at all next weekend for Solo Story, Star Wars, there's going to be bigger headaches to deal with. And if they do this again for the Incredibles sequel coming out on June 15th, guess what? More headaches. So, yeah. I just don't understand anymore with this railroad. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know. Maybe it's their conspiracy to screw Hollywood. I don't know. Maybe there's some Illuminati theory I'm not aware of, but that's another topic for another day. But if you have any other plans this weekend, good luck, I guess. Because honestly, I wanted to get the information out there as soon as I could. So that's it. If you are going to Hicksville or Deer Park to see Deadpool 2 this weekend, all I can say is please plan extra travel time this weekend. That's all I'm going to say. And overall, till next time, everyone, take care.